Oh my God. I could wait to get on here to tell you guys what's already happening. I am doing lives for the next 30 days. I think we're day 11 or 12, but I'm having a lot of fun. We're going over charts. We are doing some tarot, and I'm soon going to be opening up the mediumship part. So we have these aspects that are happening in the sky. People used to always ask me, Cindy, what's going on in the sky? People are acting crazy. So I'm going to let you guys know what's going on even if you don't know anything about astrology. I try to bring it to you um, as a medium, the planets and the stars and the houses, they all have characters for me, the signs. So I sort of translate and relay that to you guys. So, because the universe is always talking to us, the planets are talking to us, Mother Earth's talking to us. So, but I'm excited and a little nervous to tell you what I have to tell you, but I wanted you to know that that eclipse. So things always happen fast for me. I think it's just my energy. Um, so they happen pretty fast for me. Um, and it's already started. It started yesterday. But I kind of wanted to give you guys an idea about how this lunar eclipse could be going. And about how we can be the most prepared for it, because you can't be like all the way prepared for it because that's your destiny. And unless you kind of already know about your destiny, which most of us don't, um, it won't. It'll be a surprise and it could be a shock. And with the planets that are activated and all of that going on, there's going to be some fear, there's going to be some anxiety, or there could be. So I just wanted to kind of let you know my story about what's going on. Some of you may feel like um, you have an opinion about the story. I mean, some of you may be like, oh, that's not very whatever. Um, but I'm telling you the story and I'm being as authentic as possible without giving away my whole life. But I'm kind of trying to be as authentic as possible to make you aware so that you can be aware of how things could possibly show up in your life and then the perspective that you can have with it, if that makes any sense. On Friday, I did some chart readings, just open chart readings. It was just a little mini read to kind of let everybody know, to whoever gave me was whoever wanted to give me their whomever wanted to give me their birth date, and that I opened their chart, looked at it, kind of gave them some advice. I was channeling, and it turned out really good. We're going to go over a little bit about what's going on. Obviously, the big thing that's going on is that we just had this lunar eclipse, and the lunar eclipse is about completions, about you leaving your focus. I don't want to say you're leaving your energy, but it's kind of like that. It's leaving your focus. It's you standing in your big energy into this new space that's coming in this April 8th space, right? So you're walking away from something, you're leaving something, you're unfocusing in something in your Libra house, right? So Libra house is different for everyone, but we have the South Node there. So that's like a portal, and this is like a portal. This is the North Node. This is on April 8th, we're going to have the solar eclipse, and those are new beginnings. Now, both of these have to do with your destinies. So you don't have to do much. Like, you don't have to try to make it something. You don't have to try to walk away from anything. We're walking away, we're leaving our energy. These are portals. This is your destiny. So you don't have to do much. Other than whatever's presented to you. And this is why I'm going to tell you the story, but I won't tell the story till everybody gets here. But I was really excited because it was like, oh, like as it's happening to me, and trust me, there's fear, there's anxiety, and I was triggered, which is really weird. As a Gen X to say triggered, we didn't have those words. Like, I mean, those words were always there, but we didn't use those words, right? So it's a little funny to me to say that I was triggered, but I was triggered. That's just the way that you guys can understand me. But I was triggered with what happened. But I just want to tell you the story so that you kind of see, oh, no, I don't want to ignore these things, but you are going to have some completions. You are going to have some endings. That is the South Node, but it's your destiny. It's like you don't need that. You can always pull from it. It's a portal. You're always connected to it. You can always pull from it. The other way I like to think of it is like you're the computer and you can access the internet, right? Like you can pull from it and then you can put the little um I can't even remember the little thing that you stick in there to put the files in. That word is beyond me right now because I'm starting a channel. But anyway, it's part of you. And you can pull from it if you ever need to. This is where you feel comfortable. This is your experiences. This is your past lives, your future lives. All that's through like this. We call it the South Node because it's something that you're familiar with. Where the North Node is something you have come here to like move more into, become more of. As long as we all understand we're all of it, right? You already all are, you're already all of it. You're all of it. You've always been all of it. But when you come into this life or a life, doesn't even have to be here, but when you come into this life or a life, you bring certain aspects of you. You bring certain things because there are lessons. I hate because it's not just lessons, there are experiences that you want to have, right? And there are ways that you want to see things, and there are personalities that you have developed through other lives, right? That you may want to bring in with you and experience this particular thing. Like you may want to experience the fact that our society is moving and evolving into a different space and you wanted to be part of that, so you decided that you wanted to be alive at this time. Does that make sense? So that's like the south node, north node, right? We just had this Libra lunar eclipse, which means there's an ending and it's going to be going on for 4 to 6 months. So for me things happen fast, like, and I guess because I do see people, I talk to people, I help guide people. Maybe that's why, it happens to me so that I can like relay the message to you because that's what I am. I'm a medium. I relay the messages. I translate the messages, right? And so maybe that's why stuff happens to me fast. I don't know. Maybe stuff happens to you fast too. I'm just guessing at this point. But I was excited because it like came together. And so I was like, "Oh gosh, okay, if I get this, maybe they can get this." That stuff excites me. So, we have this lunar eclipse. You have a lunar eclipse which is endings. You're going to be walking away. You're going to be putting your energy and your physical energetic focus on this new space that we're going to, right? You can think of it as the portal that we're going to be moving through, the doorway, the portal, the new vibration, whatever you want to call it, whatever your belief system is, right? We have this Chiron sitting next to it. So I've explained it in several of my videos, but the Chiron is a wound, unlike the Pluto trauma. They're two different things, and I have a video about that. But this wound, you can't heal the wound. I mean, we can do whatever, but the wound is not meant to be healed. The wound is meant to work with, because the mythology of this is, and I'm going to tell you the mythology so that you understand the Chiron wound a little bit better. And it's important because we're moving into this. Now that we're completing this, we're moving into this, right? We're turning our back, we're walking away, and we're moving into this. And this Chiron wound has to do with, in mythology, Chiron had the wound that he could never heal, but through his efforts of trying to heal it, he became a healer. So he was able to heal others and in that way help subside and work with his wound. So that's kind of how Chiron plays a part in our lives. You're not going to fix the wound, but you can learn to work with the wound. And the example that I've given is we know that we're evolving. We know society is going somewhere. How do we know this? Because Pluto's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is about humanitarianism, right? Aquarius is about the group, and so it's no more about the structures and the all of that we've had for the last 16 years. We're moving to a space where it's going to be more about the group, more about the humanitarianism, less about the systems, less about the um, I'm not saying they're not going to be there. I'm just saying they're not going to be focused on, right? Like the big celebrities and the banking system and the government and the blah 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 and all of that, right? We're moving away from that, and it's going to be almost like it's more balanced um in the way that it's going to be more about the people, more about working together. And so for the next 20 years with Pluto, we're going to be learning how to work individually and with a group, and then understanding the beauty in that, understanding the movements we can make in that, understanding the evolvement we can do with that, right? So the way that I say that this Chiron wound is we're moving through this space, but there's fear. We have fear. There's a wound there, right? And the wound is this is only part of the wound, but the wound is they want you to be afraid. How do we know this? Because they'll give you tidbits. Oh, the solar eclipse is coming, and you need to get water, and you need to have water for 3 days, and you need to fill up your tank. And oh, by the way, we're moving the Coast Guard over, in that area, and blah blah blah. And they'll tell you that, but they're not telling you anything. They're just saying, "Oh, you better be prepared." Well, why do we need to be prepared? Oh, well, we can't tell you that because you don't have security clearance. You don't have blah blah blah. Whatever the excuse is, it's because they want you in fear. Okay, and what I've been telling people is don't fear. Don't fear. You've been through worse. You've been through worse. The pandemic was a dry run. They wanted to see how they could get you, how you were. They wanted to see how you were going to react in scenarios. Okay, and when we played it exactly the way that they thought it was going to be played, right? But like I said, if you know me, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You ain't fooling me again, right? So we're going to do this very differently. Aquarius, Pluto, Aquarius, right? We're moving into this space, but there is this wound. We're going to work with the wound. That's working with the wound. They want you in fear. Okay, so I get afraid. I get afraid for just a minute, but I don't sit in the fear. Like I said, don't be naive. If they're telling you okay, so get 3 days of water, but don't sit in the fear. Okay, so fill up your gas tank. Don't sit in the fear. Okay, so uh, the Coast Guard's there. Big deal. Go give them some snacks. Go help them out. It's not. It don't be in the fear, right? I have and I can tell you this personally, over and over and over, I have traveled to different countries. I have lived in different countries, and I have traveled all over the United States several times. What I've seen is the kindness, not just in this country, in the US, in other countries, in third world countries, the kindness, the camaraderie, the coming together. That's what I've experienced. That's what I've seen. When you have no, you're lost, you don't know, you're upset, you're afraid. I've seen kindness come from people. That's what I've seen. And that's what I know about humanity, is that we have such capacity for love and kindness and compassion, and we can do this. So don't be afraid. That's all they want you to do, is be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm telling you that because that's part of the wound. There's going to be some other wounds coming out. We'll know that as we're going through this. It's going to start opening up, which is like now, because we've just gone through and we're closing off for the next 4 to 6 months. Things are going to be completing. Things are going to be ending for you, right? And again, you don't have to do anything to end it. Like you don't have to try to make something end. It will just end if it's supposed to end. It's your destiny. Okay. And that's why I want to tell this story. Right. And that's what I was going to tell you. I'm glad that you brought that up. So Chrissy says, looking forward to some real, I'm sorry, part of that is like some relief from stagnant energy. Yes. When all of this is happening, I want you guys to be excited, okay? Because it can get scary. You're going to get triggered. Remember, we have that Chiron. It's opposite. It's still triggering this opposite, right? We still have to work with this wound. So it's going to be feeling maybe a little uncomfortable, right? But when that happens, I want you guys to remember this last summer when we were all like, oh my God, could things just move forward? Or if you guys remember that, where you're like, what? Nothing's moving forward. I can't break through. What's going on? Do you guys remember that feeling this last summer where we were and I think I'd come on here a couple of times and said, it's going to be okay. Get what you need to do is get really clear in your mind and your heart about what you want to do, because when we go at these eclipses, I think I'm pretty sure I have a, yeah, I do have a, it's a video. It's not a full video. I think it's on my one of my lives where I was like, when we go, when those eclipses start, when this season starts, and now we're at that season, right? I kept saying, when we get, what you need to do right now is rest. You need to relax. You need to rest. You need to really figure stuff out. You need to like get in touch with yourself. That's what I was saying this summer. Because thank you for saying hit the like button, Chrissy. Because once we hit these seasons, it's a go. Well, now's that time. Now's go time, right? So, um, I'm glad she brought up that stagnant energy. So when things happen, when things start happening, remember we were in the energy where you're like, oh my God, nothing's happening. Every time I try, it's going bad. It's not happening. Nothing's going forward. What do I do? I don't even know what I'm at. You know, we kept doing that. And I kept saying, just relax, right? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Since August, right? It was like June, July, August, and September, where it was like, oh my God, that we could not do anything. Like nothing was moving forward. And then it started easing up after October. It started easing up, and then some things started coming through, and then we started kind of seeing the direction. This is what you're going to want to do now is this. Remember, we're talking about your destiny, okay? Before you came down here, before you decided to be born on earth, when you were looking at the experiences and the lessons before you come through, right? You already knew what you were going to do. You don't remember it once you're born here, right? So, this is like your blueprint of what you've already decided to experience, okay? So, it's not like you got to try to make something happen. It's not like you got to try to, in the lunar eclipse, let go. It's not like you got to like figure out, okay, what am I missing? What am I not seeing? What am I, I don't want you in that. And I know I have a lot of type A's, a lot of people that are very evolved, and a lot of people that kind of know how to work and transmute energy. And I'm saying this to you because you have, for so long, probably since 2014, 2008, 2009, 2014, have said, okay, I'm going to like direct this. And the more I know, the more I'm able to direct this, right? And now is not that time. What you need to do is relax, and it's just going to happen. But when it happens, I want you to be excited. Remember, emotions. That's energy in motion, right? So be excited because it's your, first of all, because it's your destiny. And secondly, because there was a point last summer where you were like, I can't figure it out. Every time I try something, I can't move. It's not going anywhere. Things are failing, da da da, right? Because that was our resting time. That was our getting to know ourselves time. That was the universe saying, take one more round, make sure it is what you want, connect with what you really want your life to look like it was telling you. Mother Earth was telling us, the stars were telling us, the universe, God, our higher selves were saying, just take a minute. And to them, it's a second, a millisecond. For us, it's like 4 or 5 months or 6 months. So, yeah, I have a North Node in Pisces too. I'm going to talk about that. I know I'm here to help heal. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, Chrissy. So, I, I want you to like stay in your now. And I want you to like, you already know. You already are so connected to yourself that when something comes at you, or when something walks away, or when something is completed in this lunar eclipse, you already know, okay, I may not understand why that just happened, but I already know that's not going to be what I want. I already know, because I already know I'm connected to myself. I've done all the work. I've been for the past 4, 8, 10 years working on myself, figuring it out, trying to direct it, trying to make life easier for me, trying to make the life that I want, trying like all of that. So I want you to like really stay in. That's what I mean by stay in your now. It's really important, and just be excited, because now's the time. I said last summer, once these once the season starts, it's go time, right? And so it's go time. And so now, just experience. Now, just have enough. Remember how much faith, right here, Pisces, Saturn, Venus, Mars, Neptune. How much faith do you have in yourself? How much faith do you have in yourself? Not the universe, not the planets, not your friends, not your coworkers, not your partner, not your children, not your spouse. How much faith do you have in yourself? Right? That you've done the work. You've done life. You've done everything possible to get you to this point. And so as things happen, as things are taken away, as things go to completion, as things happen, just smile and make the choice. That's all you got to do. Be excited and make the choice. You already know. And even if you consciously can't form the concept about where you're going, in your heart and in your subconscious, you already know. Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? Kathy, I'm going to tell you guys a story in just a minute, but I wanted to wait until Kathy said do tell about the story. But I wanted to wait till some other people came in. And before I forget, Catherine was here on Friday, and I didn't get to do her chart. So I'm going to do some open charts. And Catherine is one of them. I think it's Mai Ying is the other one. Those are the girlies that are always here every day. So I wanted to make sure to like do them as well, and answer a question for them if they had it. So yeah, I want you to trust yourself, and trust me, I just told you I got triggered. Oh, Kathy can appreciate this. Kathy, you know that space where I was telling you that maybe before you had a temper, and then you would just, as a Sagittarius rising, whenever something triggered you, either you kept it in because you know the fierceness that you have, or you lashed out, right? That was me yesterday. Was like, oh, my Sag moon came out. If it came out, and I had to like calm myself down and rethink this. So Kathy has, um, Kathy is Sagittarius ascending. If you watch my videos on, I think I put hers up on Saturday, um, and she's got Mars right there. So she means business when she means business, and she's got a lot of energy, but don't piss her off. That's all I can say is don't piss her off. We all have triggers. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, but I thought about you when that happened. I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. So, okay. So for today, remember this. You've got Saturn who wants you to redefine and be very clear about your belief system. What are you understanding? What's your perception? What do you believe? Is it a limiting belief? What is restricting you? Don't get you drunk. You off. Oh God. Yeah, that would be the only way the Sadi would let you come out. Uh, um, so Saturn is going to be restricting you so that you get very, very clear about what you believe. Do you have a limiting belief system? Did you come from a place where, or a family, or a culture, or a society where you weren't allowed to um, have joy or have fun? It was just about survival. Or you weren't allowed to speak your mind. You had to be hush hush because that's not the way they do it, right? It's your belief system that's being defined. That's what I want to say. I don't want to say it's being challenged, but I guess you could say it's being challenged. But I think of it as more tweaking it. Like, do I have a limiting belief system? I know I want this type of life, but if I'm told from my subconscious because of the group or the culture or the family, even your family, or my friends or what I see, what I've always seen, what's my neighborhood like? That only good people get those things. My religion, only good people, only if you're good can you get those things, right? So, and then I believe I'm not good enough. I don't believe I'm bad, but I don't believe I'm good enough. So those things aren't going to come about because that's my belief system, right? And that's what Saturn is doing with Venus. Venus right there, and Mars is coming up. Mars and Venus work together, right? Mars is going to give Venus that confidence that she needs, right? That confidence that she needs. So, or is your belief system that because I've only seen my parents work day and night and put food on the table and did so I can only have a life to be able to breathe if I work a whole bunch. Like it's only through hard work that I can receive abundance. Like is that your belief system? This is the reason that speaking about this part, this is the reason it's taken me. Actually, this is the reason why I don't teach manifestation, because we all have belief systems and they're very different. And I'm not one to like try to make somebody believe something. I like to work within your belief system and then let's heal what's going on there. I'm more of the let's evolve you and then you'll just do what you naturally do, which is to manifest. We all just naturally manifest. I mean, we created this world through our minds, right? We create relationships, we create whatever through our minds. We do it all the time. We manifest all the time. But that's one of the reasons. It's like, but this is what Saturn is here for. Saturn is here to like say, let's take a look at this. It's almost like the universe has said, you have for so long told me you want this. You want this dream. You see your life this way. You want to feel this way when you wake up. You want to feel this way every day, all day long. You want to have these experiences, yet you believe that you are not worth it or cannot have it or have to work too hard for it. But you're telling me you don't want to work hard. You can have what you want. It's your belief system. That's what Saturn's in here doing, right? And he's talking to the beautifying, the resource, the gifts, the money, the stuff, right? With Venus, and Mars is coming up, and Venus is a little lost because she's having to like look at herself again. Do I really want that? Is that what I want? That's all Saturn's asking us to do, right? And then we have Neptune over here. So you have it's really heavy Pisces energy. It's almost like we can see and feel, we can see and sense that there doesn't have to be boundaries, right? That Neptunian and Pisces, that it doesn't have to have boundaries. I mean, of course we need some boundaries to like conceptualize, but we can sense that there's so much beyond us that is available to us. I'll say it that way. There's so much beyond us that is available to us, right? Saturn's just asking you to rework this. Saturn's asking you to take responsibility. Yes, I may have come from a place where we had to work very hard to get anything, but I am not in that place anymore. So I believe, because I've seen, because I know, because I'm connected, because I've worked so hard since 2008, 2012, 2014, 2009, 2010. I've worked so hard to understand this. I've worked so hard to understand myself, right? So I know I'm not that anymore. That was part of me. That was an aspect of me. That was something I'm ready to let go of, right? That's all Saturn is asking us to do, is reevaluate this. Let him know what it is that you want, how it is that with your belief system. That's like the last part is our belief system, right? We're going to still have Pluto over here that we're working with, right? But we're moving into this area. We're going to have a wound that we're not going to heal. We're going to have a wound that we're okay with. We know how to subside. It's like right now, the best the best way that I can say this, and I may change it, but it's almost like, oh, my joints hurt, so I'm going to take some. I mean, for me, it would be white willow bark, because that's like Advil, or Tylenol, right? It's like, oh, okay, once I take a little bit of this, then I can move better, right? Or I got a headache, so I'm going to take some Tylenol or some Advil or some whatever, right? That's this Chiron. That's like a way to say it, where it's good. You're going to be able to work with it, subside it. You're going to be able to like work through it. And then once you learn, like all of us, this is societal right here. Once we all understand, the scenario that I can tell you is what I've been saying. Like, don't sit in the fear. Don't sit in the lack. Don't sit in the anger. Don't sit in that. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be fearful. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be in lack. I mean, it's okay to like see lack. It's okay to have those emotions, right? Remember, energy and motion. It's okay to have those emotions. Don't deny the emotion. A lot of spiritual people, a lot of people that, that teach, you get the feeling that they don't have those emotions. And that's just not true. That's a lie. What I'm saying is the best way to do it is to honor the emotion. Oh, I am afraid. Why? Why am I afraid? Oh, I do feel lack. Why? Why do I feel lack? Oh, that does piss me off. Why? Why does that piss me off? Right? Oh, I am scared. Why? Like you need to honor that. And you don't necessarily have to ask why right away. Honor your feeling. For so long, a lot of us have not, even growing up, especially growing up, our feelings were not honored. I mean, if you're Gen X, what feelings? You don't get to have feelings. Go sit down, shake it off, run it off. Like, you don't get to have feelings. You just move to the next thing. We were not honored. But you're an adult now, and this is what you've been working on since 2008, 9, 10, 12, 14. Honor those feelings. You don't have to like fix the feeling. It's a feeling. Honor it. Yes, I see that you are hurt. And that would be you talking to yourself. I honor that you're hurt. I honor that you feel scarcity. I honor that you're afraid. I honor that. Like, allow yourself and validate the feeling that you're having. That's all you have to do sometimes. It's just validate. Because little bitty Kathy didn't get a chance to get validated because her parents didn't know, or her grandparents, or where she came from. Or little Chrissy wasn't validated when she was excited about something, or when she was angry about something, or when she was afraid of something. Or Queen Mermaid was never validated, right? Like you need to be validate. You need to validate. You're the adult now and you can validate yourself. So whatever comes, that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm telling y'all I'm being as raw as I can be. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm being as raw as I'm being as authentic as I can be. I was triggered, right? I do this for a living. I am a medium. I'm connected. I know. I still have emotion. I was triggered. I have things going on in my chart that I wanted to experience, that I wanted to evolve, right? For me, it's the second house. The second house for me, y'all haven't seen my chart. Chrissy says I was not celebrated or acknowledged as a child. I'm learning to take a moment and celebrate, cry, dance, be angry, etc. That is so, so important that for all of us. Take a moment, validate yourself, look back at the child that you were and talk to that child. I have a letter that I wrote to my child that maybe I'll say on here. I've said it on another live, but maybe I'll actually make a video about it where I just validated everything, where I thanked my inner child for being such a strong person, such a strong child, right? But that's really important. And I think that's like what happened here, especially for me. It was just me validating it. That's all I needed to do. And then it just kept moving forward. Then I was like, oh, okay, now I see it. But that's the important thing right now. My belief system, that's your too, your belief system. What do you believe? Do you have a limiting belief? We have Venus here that wants to give you everything. We have Mars here that wants to give you everything. We have Daddy Saturn that wants to give you everything. And then we have Neptune that absolutely can give you everything. That's the open market there. That's like no boundaries there. That's like manifestations coming quick, quick with that, right? And y'all haven't seen my chart, but this Neptune at 27 degrees is on my north node in my first house. Pluto, because I have a big first house, I talked about this before. Pisces is intercepted in my first house, which means my second house starts with Aries. So Pisces is in there. It's in my first house. And my north node is in my first house. And my second house, which is my resources, has Chiron right where, right here, right where the sun is. It's got Chiron at 6 degrees. This is at the sun is at 5 degrees, right? So my Chiron is in my resources, my work, my self-worth, my money, right? So I have Chiron. So not only do I have a natal Chiron going on being activated because all these planets are going by, but I have the transit Chiron going on too. Does that make sense? I have like 2 transits, and then I have this Neptune right on in Pisces on my north node. It's like you can absolutely have everything. That's why we want to change to this. You're about to go into this new space. This is what was being told to me by my higher self. Like, you're going to this new space. You got to get rid of this anxiety and this fear and trust yourself. You've got to learn to trust yourself. You got to understand your belief systems. Does that all that make sense? Kathy says, Tina, are you listening? Is Tina your daughter, Kathy? Oh. And yes, we've got some great things going on once we get through here. Great thing. Okay. So the reason I've told you about my second house and my first house is because of the story that I'm about to say. The story is, I have had the same bank account, and it's my second house and my 8th house, right? So Aries is my second house. Libra is my 8th house. 8th house is what? Contracts. We've talked about this. The contracts, are things being balanced with my collaborations, with if I was married, which I'm not anymore, I'm a widow, right? If I was married, is that valid? Is that being equal? Are you getting enough? The banking system, the money, anything having to do with that stuff, inheritances, stuff like that. That's the 8th house, right? And for me, my eighth house is being triggered because it's in the south node right now is in my eighth house. I don't have any planets in my eighth house. They're all in my second house. Okay. I won't say bad ones, Chiron, right? So I got Chiron here and I got Chiron here, right? And so all of a sudden, yesterday when I went, and it's a Sunday, so I went to look in the banking system, and something got messed up, and they closed my account. Now I've had this account because I'm ex-military forever, right? And so it's like, oh, that was just taken away, and where's my money, and what's going on, right? And they were closed when I called them, the representative that could tell me whatever. It triggered me. I'm like, oh, sorry, I was about to curse. Oh, heck no. You're not taking that away from me. What are you trying to do? I'm like yelling at the universe, yelling at my higher self. Are you trying to take all my money away? Like, am I not supposed to have any money? Like, how am I supposed to get these resources? Like, again, it's triggering my second house, right? I know this may sound bad to some people, but I'm trying to be as honest as possible. Like, what are you doing to me, higher self? What am I supposed to do now? And at some point, I was pissed. Remember, I told you, Kathy, I was pissed, and I was like, well, I didn't say forget it. I used the F word. I was like, whatever. If I go homeless, if I go whatever, if my bills aren't paid, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything I was throwing a fit. I was doing the Sagittarius thing. I hear myself now, but I was throwing a fit, and I was like, whatever. If it happens, it happens. I've surrendered. I don't know what to do. I've done everything I could. Blah 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 blah. Like I'm like yelling, right? Kathy can appreciate it. It's the Sag way. It's the Sag way. I tell you, I was triggered. My Sag came out. um. So anyway, the poor representative. Of course, I never yell at representative ever. Never. I don't. I already know about how to treat other people. So, he was so kind. He was like, you can, because they're on the East Coast. He's like, you can wake up or he said they open at 5:30 our time, right, or 5 o'clock our time. And so, of course, I'm like, because I'm a type A, I'm like, okay, well, let me figure this out. Where's my money? They closed my account. What's going on? Da, 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 like, and then I'm like yelling at the universe and yelling at my higher self. And I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything I can. Da, 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 whatever. So I wake up early this morning and, um, and I call them. And I'm still like, I've kind of calmed down, but what happened was I surrendered. Like at some point yesterday, I was like, okay, it is what it is. If I'm supposed to go in this direction, I already know it's the lunar eclipse. If something's taken away, it's like that part, my higher self is like, just calm down. Just calm down. Right. So I called this morning. And the lady was so nice, and she was like, oh, yeah, no, we just paid those bills, and then we can just open you another account. And what had happened was a couple of years ago when all this pandemic stuff had happened, there was a lot of stuff that was on automatic subscription stuff. And I have been trying for years to get off of these things. So I kept paying for all this stuff that I don't even use anymore. But they have it in such a way that they don't let you undo the subscription, right? Like they keep pulling money out of your account, right? We have to learn to surrender, right? And stop doing exactly, Virgo. Exactly, Chris. You are exactly right, Chrissy. And that's kind of what I've learned being 50 something now is like just surrender. And that's what, as soon as I surrendered, not only did she was like, let's just we'll just open up another account and just transfer the money. It'll be fine. Da, 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 da. But for me, it was triggering because it was like the last hold I have to like my old life. This is an account that I've had forever. Right. And so it's got to do with my resources, my money. So I'm like making up this whole thing in my head scenario about me being homeless and about me, whatever. Right. Like we just go where we don't need to go. And then when I finally just surrendered, and then I called this morning. I got a new account. And then she said, you don't have to pay those because they know about this, like these subscriptions, these things taking a lot of my money. Right. And so she was like, oh, that's cleared. You don't have to pay for that. Like you've already sent your letters to them. This has been years going on. Like they know all of this, right? And so I was like, oh, so my destiny, the universe is like, we'll just close that account, open you up another account. You're fine. You're still okay. Here's your money. Like that is what could be happening. I don't know that that exactly is going to happen to you. I had a credit card issue that was similar in February. Yeah. But I'm just saying, and from my higher self says, not only that, Cindy, we're clearing that stuff for you, but that account became so draining. That's not the energy you're wanting. You're wanting abundance. You're wanting fulfillment. You're wanting a bigger account. That's not the account. We're just changing the numbers to put you into a different vibration, changing numbers, right, into the account to put you in a different vibration of where it becomes abundant, right? And already this morning, since then, I've had stuff coming in. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. I've got to tell everybody what happened. Does that make sense to everybody? It's like it's the universe helping us. It looked like they were taking away from me again. Because I'm like, again, you got to take something away from me again. I've already lost everything. What am I supposed to do? Right? Of course, that's me being dramatic. But the emotion was real, right? But they're trying to, it's our destiny. They're trying to put us in a different place. It's like, it's time to go to the new vibration. It's time to go through this portal. Yes, there's going to be a wound there. There was a wound there for me about my resources, about, oh my God, you know, my late husband, we started this account together. You know, it's that kind of stuff. It's like you have these emotions about it. But in the long run, it's a different vibration. It's a better vibration. This account, from what I'm hearing and already what I'm seeing, it's already growing. It's already like growing. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. But I'm telling you that so that you can see maybe that will happen. Not the exact same thing, but like a scenario or some sort of something that has to close. I didn't have to close it. It got taken from me. It was closed. It's done. It's my eighth house. So everybody's different. Their house could be house 10, house 1, house 2, house 3, right? For me, it had to do with contracts. It had to do with banking systems. It had to do with government. It had to do with, I mean, the military, government. It had to do with all of that, right? And it because my second house is such a focused house for me that I've got to heal, that I'm never going to heal this Chiron in my second house, but I am going to work with it, right? And because the North Node is there, that was all triggering for me, right? Mine is the sixth, Christy says. Right. So the sixth, your everyday, not just your everyday, like how are you running your life? And are you taking care of yourself? How is your health? How is your mental state? Are you taking care of yourself? That's your sixth house, right? Is your sixth house, is that where Libra is? Yes, new card number was needed so things can change. My last one was with my husband. I'm widowed also. Wow. Right, Kathy? That just gave me chills, Kathy. That just gave me chills. Yes. And you know, our late husbands are up there looking, going, oh my God, here she goes again. With that said, they're like, we're trying to make it better for them and they just don't listen. I've been pouring into more into myself, not accepting any work that requires too much of my energy. Libra is my sixth. Perfect. That is perfect, Chrissy. So, exactly, hand to forehead. They're like, oh my God. So, Chrissy, that's perfect. Now, remember what I said, though, Chrissy. We have to back off. We don't know exact. This is the thing. It's like we already wrote the. I'm going to say it in old people time. We already wrote the letter to say what we wanted, and there's no more communication. to that, to the universe. So we wrote a letter to say, this is how I want my life. This is the dreams that I want. And you wrote it all down and you thought about it and you meditated on it and you do affirmations and you learn a thing and you learn another modality and you fix yourself and you meditate and you blah, 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 and you keep going, keep going, keep going. And the universe is like, we've already heard you. It's now's the time. So what we need you to do is trust yourself that you wrote the letter and addressed it well and it got to where it needs to go, and then let it happen. That's the problem that we might be having, is that we're going to want to direct it. We're going to want to like, oh gosh, I see this, blah, blah, that. Okay, so if I get that, then I can do that, and then I can do that, and then I can do that, and then that'll get me to the dream. We need to stop that right now. We need to like just relax. It's our destiny. It's just going to happen. When those things that are scary and triggering happen, trust yourself. Trust yourself that you believe. Trust yourself that you've done the work. And I'm not saying to be like, for me, to be happy that they closed my account, but then I saw, oh, I get a new account. And then my higher self was like, new numbers, new vibration, you know this stuff. Relax. 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 Because we're not going to know. I've told you guys over the past month and a half, we don't know exactly where this is. We just know that we're going through. We just know that we want to head in this direction. We don't know exactly. Does all that make sense? I hope that helps. But I was excited to tell you guys because I really, really wanted to share that with you. If that could help anybody in some way, right? But they're taking so long to get back. I love what he or she said. I'm sorry, I don't know if you're he or she. But they're taking so long to get back, right? Like especially this summer, we were like, oh my God, what the hell, right? Alejandra, I got tired of needing and wanting things. They're either here or they're not, and both are fine. Sometimes we get in our own way the most. Absolutely, Alejandra. That's what I'm trying to say. Just relax. Just relax. I promise you. I promise you, that was the best line, but they're taking so long to get back. I promise you, you're in the right place. And today, I feel that more than anything. Is I am absolutely, and I can tell you, if you know me, because why? Like attracts like. You are absolutely in the right place. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. The universe already knows what you want. They're trying to help you unfold it. They're trying to help you experience it. and like Kathy and I, our late husbands are out there like, oh my God, if they could just calm down. They could just calm down and let it happen. Just let it happen. We need new vibration. We needed new numbers. We needed a new account, right? Makes perfect sense now. But I have to learn to trust myself. I have to learn. Yeah, I have to learn that and that's another thing. I mean, my whole second house, I could do a whole thing about it, right? It's like, that's why I was telling you guys, I don't have Pluto in my second house, but I have Chiron and I have Saturn. So I have Chiron and Saturn, right? Saturn wants me to rethink my belief system. You don't have to work 1,000,000 hours, Virgo. You don't have to, put in 100 hours a week like you used to be able to have the life that you want. And the life that you want is full of resources and full of happiness and full of contentment and full of friends and full of good times. But you have to believe that for yourself. Does that make sense? For your second house, Chrissy, I mean sixth house, sorry. For your sixth house, Chrissy, are you taking care of yourself? Are you loving yourself? Are you accepting who you are? Are you understanding that the universe is abundant? Yes. society, I've told you guys, this wound, they want us afraid because they know what we can do. They know who we are. But if we're afraid, we can't do. We can't be. If we're in lack, we can't be. Does that make sense? If we're sad, we can't be. We can't be happy if we're sad. We can't have a good life if we don't believe that. Does all that make sense to you guys? I literally had a moment today concerning myself with something that I can't control. That's what I'm saying. It's going to come up that I can't control, and it's going to trigger that Chiron, because the Chiron is opposite of the South Node. We still have to come over here. But right now, for today, that's what I'm saying. I don't want anybody planning. Don't plan. Don't let that Virgo take over. Don't plan. You just need to be. You need to just experience. You need to trust yourself. We both have Chiron in the second house and a forehead again. I know. Kathy. Or so you get it, Kathy. Like, not only do we have the natal Chiron in our second house, but we got the transiting Chiron in our second house. Like, that's crazy. We got transiting Chiron in our second house. We're having to deal with two wounds and the trauma, Pluto. And I'm not saying everybody else has it easier, because I've already looked at some of y'all's charts and I'm like, oh God, y'all are just as bad as I am. But that's why, I think that's why you're attracted to me. I think that's why we know each other. There's other reasons, we've lived other lives together, but that's why I come in front of you. That's why I do these videos, so that you can see me. It's the energy. It's like attract like. It's something that you're needing to understand. Remember, I told you, I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just reminding you. That's all I'm doing. You're already an evolved soul. I'm just reminding you, right? I'm just the person that likes to put A plus B equals C and put it all together. Like, that's my talent. I'm really good at that. And I'm really good at languages, right? So I'm really good at translating energy. I'm a medium, right? So it's not that we can get through this. We're going to. We're already doing it. It's already happening. Like Chrissy said, I had a moment today. You're going to have these moments. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. That's what I want you to do. Believe in yourself. Damn, we do know each other. It's so beautiful. And it's the most beautiful thing, Kathy. It's the most beautiful thing that I get to. I used to say this a lot, and I really, really feel this. It's an honor that I get to meet you in this life again. Like, it's an honor that I get to engage with you, however big or little, whether it's for 5 minutes that I get to know you, or whether it's for the rest of my life in this life. It's an honor that I get to, like, see you again, that I get to experience with you again. It's very beautiful. That's the way that I feel. Kathy says, I so understand. Absolutely. That's the way I feel. I know that if you've seen me and then you stay and you understand what I'm talking about, because sometimes I can go way, I got to bring it back down to earth, right? If you continue to see me, and then I know we're connected in some way. That's the beauty of me doing hypnosis too. I mean, I've gotten to experience so many wonderful things by the modalities that I have. When I see, oh, we had lived a life together. Oh, you did do that. Oh, wow. It's crazy. So for those of you that are going to be watching later, and for those of you now, the message is things are going to be happening for some of us really quickly. For other of us, you can come back and watch this. I'll put it down in a video. I'll edit it down. We have completion. There are some endings. And what I said the other day holds true. We are so attached to some of these things that we don't realize. It triggered me. it made me really angry that somebody was trying to take that away from me, right? It wasn't even somebody. It was like the universe trying to, and then I was mad at the universe. I was mad at my higher self. Like, what's going on? Right? I'm so smart. I can think this thing through. I can, but, and they're like, no, that's not what this is about. It's not even about you being smart or being connected. It's about you trusting yourself and experiencing what you want to experience. Right? Not even about that. We already know the ending of a friend has hurt. Yes, there's going to be hurt. There's going to be some triggering, but just when those things happen, that's why I said remind yourself of this last summer when you were trying to make things work. Summer into fall, right until October. When you were trying to make things work, when you were trying to get where you were getting really clear about, oh, okay, this is what I want, this is how I want it, and then things just weren't happening, right? Now's that time. And I'd been saying this. Now's the time. This eclipse season is the time. It eclipses. It's the universe helping us out because we're so attached to some of the things and we're not seeing it, right? We don't see it. Like once my higher self said, hello, you already know this. It's not about us being mean and taking stuff away from you. It's about you needing to change the vibration of your account that needs to change numbers, right? Like you already know this stuff. And once I understood, I was like, oh, oops, sorry. Does that make sense? So just know for everybody, it's personal. For every one of you that are going to be listening later, that are on this live that don't say a word, it's personal. Just trust yourself. Trust that you have done what you're supposed to do. And the thing is to surrender. Honor the emotion, and then surrender. Because I'm telling you, as soon as I surrendered, that's what everything just went through. You know, I surrendered. And then I just called and she was really sweet. She was like, oh, yeah, no problem. We'll just switch it over. Blah, 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 blah. We'll just make you another one. Right? But my Saggy dramaticism mood was like, everything's being taken away. The world's falling apart. Right? That's the way it's going to feel. That's the way it's going to feel. It's this wound here and this trauma, this past trauma that you come from. You have 14 generations of your lineage that you have to work through. I told you, your lineage, your great, 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 even your great grandparents did not have it easy. They couldn't just go to Starbucks. They couldn't just go get dinner because they were too busy. They couldn't just get medicine because it was there. They couldn't just eat because it was there. It's 14 generations that you're having to like work through. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. You are loved. You are supported. The universe, the planets support you. I told you they talk to us every day, all the time. We just have to listen. You are not alone. You're not alone. And I'm so lucky to know you. I'm so lucky to know each of you. And I know other people may think that's kind of surface. It's not. I wouldn't say it unless I meant it. That's the type of person that I am. That's how I feel. I'm telling you, it's an honor. It's an honor to know you. That I get to meet you, that I get to engage with you in this life. That's an honor. Okay, so what are we going to do this week? We're going to be kind to ourselves. We're going to trust ourselves. We're going to believe in ourselves. We've made it this far. This is not easy. Not only do we have our baggage and our crap, we have 14 generations of baggage and crap. And we've done it. Hi, Eagle. We're standing. And like Kathy, I'm sure Kathy laughs and smiles all the time. She's a Sag ascending. So we're smiling. We're laughing. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We're standing. We did it. We've done it. We're okay. That makes sense? All right. I think I've rambled long enough. Eagle, I'm sorry that you just got here. I'm going to pull a card for everybody. Just know that these emotions are going to be going on. Just know what Saturn's trying to do. We've got some great things coming. We got, and you know what's also happening? This Mercury right here. He's helping us process all this. He's helping us understand, right? I mean, he's in shadow. He's helping us understand. And because the moon, right here, it's emotional. But remember, allow yourself, validate yourself to have the emotion. You no longer have to be too much. How many of y'all were told that? Oh, you're too much. Calm down. Why do you have to be so blah, blah, blah? Calm down. Do you know how many times I heard that? Calm down. You don't have to. You be who you are. Let your light shine bright. It's time in this world. Do we know where we're going? Like I said, nope. But let's have some fun going. Let's go together. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy. Right? I raise my hand. My son says this to me all the time. Yeah, exactly. He's Scorpio, Sun, Pisces, Moon. Hey, Dot, how are you? Let your light shine. Let me tell you this, having that Pluto, remember I told you guys Pluto just transited my 11th house for 16 years? What I learned is if you can't take my light, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to light it up. So if you can't take my light, if I'm too much for you, then we're just not a match. There's other people that are, go find less light. I don't know what to tell you. Go find the darkness. Right? Light it up. Light it up. And that's what I learned in the 11th house, Pluto. I be who you are. Don't cater it down. Don't try to fit in. Don't not be, don't be political if you don't want to be political. Be political if you want to be political. Don't say this. Don't do that. Don't be sure that the camera's this way. This is me, right? Be sure that the camera's this way. Be sure that you don't offend people. Be sure that you, blah, blah. No, no, no. Well, I don't know. Are they ready to hear it? No, you're ready. If you know me, you're ready. That's what I learned with the 11th house. I don't have to curtail anything. I just have to be me. And my light has always, since I was born, been bright. And people can't take it. And I don't know what to tell you if you can't take it. But I'm saying this for you guys too. Don't dim that light. Do not dim that light. Don't dim the light. Not for anybody. Don't dim that light. So screw that. Exactly. Right? Well, I am fired up today. My light's shining really bright. So are y'all. Oh, I love it. Okay. So let's see. Not that we need a tarot, but let's just do it for fun. What's the one card for the theme for oh my God. For the theme for today. You're not going to believe this. Can y'all see that? Y'all got the Wheel of Fortune. We all got the Wheel of Fortune. Is that crazy? That's the universe. Kathy, our late husbands. Them saying, you're on track. You got fortune coming. You got it. It's yours. And you're seeing it. Now just enjoy and experience it. And know that when the fear comes, when the hate comes, When the triggering comes, trust yourself, believe in yourself. You got this. This is just confirmation. This is confirmation. Because I was like, well, there's nothing we could tell them as I was pulling this card. And they're like, oh, well, we can just confirm for you. There you go. Exactly. Jim, is that you? I got chills. Yes, please hit the like button and share this out. Because guess what? We got more people that are looking for us. We got more people that we've seen in other lives that are looking to find us. So the more you share, the more you get this out, the more you guys view, the more you guys watch my videos, the more the algorithm will let me go out further, right? And there are people searching. There are people that are lost. There are people that are kind of found, but they're like, what do I do next? Right? And there's so much wisdom in here. Not just with me, with you guys. So much wisdom. Got some positive news today. Good, Dot. That is awesome. I love it. Yes, hit the button and share. This is awesome. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for hearing me and being here and listening to me rant about my triggers. I just think it's so funny that I'm using the word triggers because I'm Gen X. Like, we didn't have that. May this message get to the ears that need it. Absolutely, Alejandro. That's the energy I put out every day. May it get to the people that need it, that want it, that are looking for it. All right, guys. You know, I love you, love you, love you. Have a great, wonderful day. We'll do this again tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll talk to you guys about why I don't have it on the schedule yet. Because the Virgo in me, I can't like do that yet. It's like I can't do that yet. So I'm just leaving it open and getting on when I can get on, right? So I love you, love you, love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.